seeing something that uh, hopefully everyone can hear me well, uh, but we are seeing something that is essentially people frustrated and they don't know what to do. So this is their go-to option. The Capitol has been stormed. People have entered the building without being checked out for weapons and stuff. And I apologize for keep looking over to the side, but I am trying to keep up to date on everything. Um, what we're seeing is people are frustrated. Now, how did we get to this point? Well, it's very simple. The people in the United States adore their freedoms, and they don't care what is going on as long as they're sure that there wasn't some kind of untoward actions that brought it about. So people are frustrated and they feel that their questions aren't being answered. So this is the only way that they can address them, or they feel they can address them. So what does this mean? Well, this means that much like Ferguson, if you remember the riots in Ferguson, people were frustrated and they felt like they didn't have a way to tell people what was frustrating them. They had no way of conveying what was going on. And these people at the Capitol, what they're saying is, hey, we don't believe that this election was fair. And we just want answers before you put in Vice President Biden. Now, why does that matter? Well, that matters because they feel that Biden was not elected, that he was cheated in. So, in other words, they feel that the individuals that, let me back up, they feel that there were bad actors who pushed Biden rather than letting the votes count. Now, how could they have prevented this problem? That's quite simple. They could have done a proper investigation. They should have allowed, well, if we go back, let's go back even to before they, after the voting. If after the voting they had allowed observers to question ballots, this wouldn't even be an issue right now. But when you keep both parties from viewing what is going on and what is acceptable and not acceptable, then you cause a much larger problem. And this is the culmination of that problem. Additionally, if, let's say, there is, which there is, allegations that there was, excuse me, that there was untoward actions. Well, if we look at those allegations, rather than being forthcoming and allowing those to be investigated properly in full disclosure, that would have prevented where we're at now. Had the courts even looked at it, unfortunately, most of the courts threw it out because they felt that there was, for lack of a better word, no standing for them to that person or this person to challenge, or that there's no evidence. Well, you can't get evidence when they won't allow you to look at the records. They won't allow you to do a deep dive on the voting system. So this is the situation we've gotten into. And quite frankly, it's it's the fault of both sides. One, I believe that many Republicans and even President Trump uh, made the mistake of politicizing all this. And two, uh, I think the other side, the Democrats, just wanted to say nothing to see here and move on. And I believe that the media, because of their obvious bias, stuck the screws to everyone, plain and simple. So, what people want, they want honesty, they want integrity, and they're not getting it. And until they do get some, we're going to see more of this. And I guarantee you, and I'm saying this as someone who has studied this stuff, it's going to get worse until there's answers, until they feel that they are being listened to. Yes, I said listen to. They aren't asking for the world. They want fairness. Do they want Trump in no matter what? No, not the majority of them, at least. The majority of them want to know that Biden was elected honestly and that there was no cheating. Now, if we look at the Constitution does say, absolutely says, that it is the state legislatures that, what do I want to call it, that mandate what should be done with voting. It's not the Secretary of State, it's not the governor, it's the state legislature. So actually, there are problems, legal problems with that, if we had a court that wasn't afraid of at least looking at them. Am I saying that these are absolute violations? Possibly. I'm not saying definitely. But because they wouldn't even look at them, these people are pissed. They're quite upset. And I'm going to tell you right now, this won't be the end. I could almost bet money on it. I believe that more and more we are heading towards a revolution or a civil war. And to be honest with you, I'm afraid of it. President Trump just came out and said, tweeted, I'm asking everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful. Um, no word in getting out of the Capitol. Um, I go back to, given the two choices, I personally believe that we are in very, very serious condition right now. And hold on a second, I'm playing with my. Anyway, it's just wow, wow, and I see a lot of Gadsden flags. For those that don't know, the Gadsden flag says "Don't tread on me." I see a lot of Trump flags. I see some American flags. People are mad. They are quite mad. And once again, all they want to do is make sure that it was a fair election. I believe until we cure the problems with the election, that we are going to see more and more and more of these protests and potentially worse. So, it's a sad situation. I've said for years that the U.S. was heading towards a civil war. And this may very well be the beginning of it. Not that I think we need one. I wouldn't advocate that, but I also realize that a lot of people, myself included, want answers. We want answers. Sorry, I've got to answer someone because he's um, let's see, Capital Storm. Uh, what in the world is going on with my phone? So, what we're doing is just kind of going over uh, evacuated. So, anyway, where was I? I apologize, but I have people that send me stuff all the time that we share information. Let's just put it that way. Now, once again, I go back to the media. The media said, and we have all come to know that we can't trust the media because they are biased. Um, but the media has said that everyone will, that the Republicans will pay a price for this. And I believe that it will be both Republicans and Democrats that pay a price for this. People, 72 million, have said no, something's not right. So, how do we cure that? Well, in the short term, I don't know that we can cure it. Being honest here, I am not positive that we can cure the problem. What we can do is we can look at the future. Is that going to be enough to satisfy these individuals to storm the Capitol? I really don't think so. I'm of the opinion that they want action and they want action now. They want their voice heard. And there's so many that feel like they have been disenfranchised because of voting. They feel that 5 states have essentially taken away their rights to vote or making their vote count. So, here we go. The vast majority of the people that refuse to let the observer see were Democrats. That is where this all started. When they can't look at the ballots to ensure that that's a valid ballot, that if it doesn't look right, that they can cure the problem, or should they throw the ballot out? This becomes an issue. And when you have one party doing everything in that respect, it causes the other party to feel like something untoward is going on. And to a certain extent, it may have. One of the other things that really needs to happen is we need to find these people that are unbiased, that will literally give a good report. And when I say good report, I mean an honest report of what's going on. What happened? Did the voting machines change votes? Were fake votes put in? Were dead people voting? As it stands right now, it's, oh, nothing to see here. Move on, kid. And I'm going to tell you, That isn't what the American people want to see. Let's think about this. We want transparency, or many Americans want transparency. That's what I should say. And I believe every American should want transparency. So if we don't provide transparency, people will get upset like this. This is essentially the same as what we saw during the Jacob Blake riots and all the BLM riots. They felt their voice wasn't being heard. And this is what we got. We got riots and storming buildings and burning things. And again, now it's the other side that feels their voice isn't being heard. And they're storming the Capitol. Now, for people at the Capitol, highly doubtful you're watching this, but storming the Capitol, going into the Capitol when police told you not to, that is a serious crime. That is a federal crime. And I know right now you just don't give a crap. You want your voice heard. You are on the verge of a revolution or a civil war or whatever it takes. And we need to try all other ways before anything like that is even considered. And I wouldn't even consider it. Consider it. So, here we go. Here we go. Where does it end? Well, I'll tell you where it ends. And if they were smart, they would do this. They would get an independent audit going, a non-biased independent audit of all of the states that are in contention. So all these swing states should be audited quickly and gone through. Whatever the outcome is, that should be the outcome of the election. Plain and simple. If Biden won fair and square, he won fair and square. If Trump won fair and square, he won fair and square. I don't think that people are as angry about who won as the process, whether it was fair and had integrity to it. So anyway, it looks like they're still in the Capitol, loading up on the Capitol and all that. I am going to end this stream right now, mainly because I'm not getting any feedback, but, there's only so much I can say on this. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, I'm the Doctor of Disaster, Dr. Mark Warnick.